Welcome to the BDF Podcast. This is podcast number 12 with Toan and Van Nguyen out of Southern California. They're actually one of my good friends, known them for a long time, over a decade now. And in this podcast, they're going to go over a few things that are super important, especially in business and having success. We have a lot of fun in this podcast. They're going to go over communication, what it takes to communicate effectively in business. They're going to go over some of the business strategies, ideas that took them to the top, making well over $300,000 a year and combining their businesses, and how their kids actually have a YouTube channel, and they are the special guests at the end of the podcast. So if you're driving, if you were at the gym, working out, great, listen to the podcast, get excited. If you're not, I would take out a pen and paper, take some notes if you can. And listen, guys, these two couple are dynamic. They're doing big things in the industry, in their business. The business is international. So you definitely want to listen and take some copious notes if you can. All right, so let's get into the podcast.
What's going on, everybody? This is Hero over here. I'm sitting down with Vincent Din, and I got my main man, Toan Nguyen. Ooh, that rhymes. And his lovely wife. Oh, God. Jeez Louise, she gives me chills. Van Nguyen.
What's up, guys?
Hey, everyone.
What's up?
Dude, this has been a long time in the process of been trying to reschedule and reschedule. But yeah, one of the reasons we want to sit down with the Nguyen family is, we've known them for a very long time. Me and Vince has been known Toan and Van, Toan for like over 10 years or something like that.
Has it been that long?
Yeah, we've been knowing each other since 2000, right?
Yeah.
No,
No.
2002.
I remember hanging out with you, and then you cracked your first beer at 21.
Nice.
That was a year later.
Dude, you're
So
32 now.
yeah,
You're 33.
22.
You're old.
Dang, you're old.
22, yeah, 2002.
You guys the same age, so I don't know.
No. You're a little older, right?
I'm a little
Vince?
older.
Yeah.
But you said 32. That's your age.
Yeah.
I'm turning 34.
Yeah, dude, he's old. Don't worry, Van. We're
Don't
super
worry,
young.
we're all old.
Me and Van were young forever. Anyway, so yeah, we're just sitting down here, talking about life. We've reason. One of the reasons we want to sit down with you guys is, since we've known you for so long, you're doing big things. Known you guys for so long, and you're actually one of our first mentors in business, right?
Yes.
Taught us a lot about business. I know you're young, growing up. That's very challenging, struggling to be a business entrepreneur at a young age. But man, I just remember meeting you for the first time. I was like, man, who's this guy? Man, I don't know if he's rich. I don't know if he's poor, but he's gonna go somewhere. I was like, oh, show me the way. Show me the way.
So, I mean, Toan, I know you've been dabbling with this entrepreneur thing for a long ass fucking time. But, I mean, what are a couple of things that you can tell people that are just starting off, just that are 18, 19, 20 years old, just starting off, they want to be entrepreneurs, they want to go out there and do something with their life. And I know you had struggles with your mama. What would you tell them?
Oh, yeah, that's a really good question. I think when you're actually young and starting off, kind of realizing, trying to find your way, because every single day, like, you're meeting. Van and I, we get a chance to meet all types of people every single day, running businesses. And most of the time, what you'll notice that when you're like 18, you're 19 or 20, what they do is that they're just trying to find their way. They're trying to figure out what they want to do. And I think at 18, 19, 20, you really care about what people think. You really care about what people think. And when I was kind of going up and learning about entrepreneurship, actually, I always was afraid of what my friends thought. And I was afraid of what my mom thought. See, my mom and dad actually, they grew up, traditional Vietnamese. So I actually had to go to school, made sure I got good grades. And then when I graduate, I had to graduate top of my class. In addition to that, I had to either be a doctor, a lawyer, And if I don't make it to any of those, I have to do nails. Those are like the main things like I got to do. You know, those are the main things that I had to do. And I hated it, you know, but I actually, for years, I actually went to college, not because I wanted to, but I went to college because I was doing whatever it was to please my mom and dad.
Yeah.
I did that for years. And honestly, if I look back, I shouldn't have done that. I should have just straight up, like the moment I realized I found my passion in entrepreneurship, I should have immediately made a decision and just went for it immediately, not caring about what people think, because life is really short. You got to really do what you want to do. You got to do what you feel your calling is. But for years, from 18, 19, 20, 21, I never truly went all in because I cared about pleasing someone else, whether sometimes it's the people that are right there at your house.
It's true. I remember, dude, we went to the University of Golden West College and took this real estate class. Remember that?
Yeah, that was crazy. We were seriously determined to take the class, and we ditched most of it.
I think half the time we were drunk.
Yeah. We worked hard to pick up the book, and we never even read one page. I remember that. That was interesting. Yeah, so that was basically the one thing I can tell you is that at that age, don't worry about what people think. Once you know if that's the decision that you want to do, you go for it because you got to do you. Don't worry about doing things for anybody else. Just the moment you do that, you'll be able to give people all around you permission to do the exact same thing. You're going to free them, and they're going to see you lead your life. They're going to want to lead their own life.
So what about the people that say, hey, no, why? How come you're not going to school? You know, you're going to be a loser, or you're never going to succeed. Or how do you deal with that? How do you deal with because you got started when you were 18, 17?
Yeah.
Getting into entrepreneurship, and you had a lot of naysayers, right? What did you list? What would you say to those people that would be like, hey, no, you got to go to school. You're not going to do anything unless you go to school.
Yeah, actually, that brings up a really interesting story. I got to tell you, I remember when I was 18, and the business that I was in, you know, they actually had weekly events every single week, you know, to be able to introduce and do marketing. And I remember I went to that meeting, and I was really excited. And actually, that day, I actually got a paycheck sent to my house. I made $865. Nice. It was my biggest weekly paycheck aside of my full-time job. I was motivated. I was pumped. I was excited. I was suited and booted. I actually, I was borrowing my uncle's outfit. His, he actually gave me an outfit for a wedding, and I never returned it to him. So I just wore it as a suit.
So you stole it?
I stole it, but I borrowed it for a year and a half. I wore the same suit every single week, and then I returned it to him after I dry cleaned it, a year later.
But I only had one dry cleaning, by the way.
Yeah, exactly.
Just one.
I know. Yeah, man, it really was pretty stinky after a while. I was broke, right? But I was motivated. I was highly ambitious. Anyways, long story short, I got out of that meeting and I went. The first thing I thought of was, I can't wait to tell all my friends that I just made an $865 paycheck for the week. So I actually called up my friend, the person I got a hold of. His name was Jimmy. I said, Jimmy, listen, man, I can't wait to tell all you guys what's going on. So we went over to his house. We went over to the house, and all my friends are there. Mind you, we're 18, 19, 20. What do you do at that age? You're drinking, you're partying. Everyone's drunk, right? So then I said, hey, guys, you have no idea. I found it. This is the light at the end of the tunnel. Break free from corporate America. I made $865 this week aside of my job. And my friend Jimmy laughed and he said, dude, you're an idiot. I make $865, every single week because you only made that this week, right? Well, I make that guaranteed every single week. And then all my other friends are kind of laughing and they're like, man, you should just stick with school. You're an idiot. What are you doing? And I just couldn't help but I turned red. I was embarrassed. I was pissed off and I drove off crying. And you're going to have people hate on you. You're going to have people tell you that you're on the wrong path. But the reality is that no one knows really what path is the right path, and no one knows if they're making the right decision. You just got to make a decision that's good for you, And then if you make mistakes, don't worry, you'll make it right along the way.
You just got to decide.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Decide.
Yeah.
And then Van, I mean, we've known each other for a while before Van came into our lives and before she became your wife.
You were around when the crazy was around.
I was around when the crazy was around. But then Van came in, and Van, how did you because you didn't, you weren't were you an entrepreneur before all this happened? Before Toan came?
I had a drive for it. It's just I was never really, I guess, introduced to something that I felt I could pursue. And what really, honestly, if I can give any advice to anyone looking into it, whether you're young or older, is you got to figure out why you're doing it, whether it's working for a job promotion or starting a business or whatever you're looking for. What's the reason why you want to do it? What's your motive? Because if you can get clear on what your motive is, then you'll have a better picture of what exactly it is that you want to pursue. And I agree with everything Toan says. You're going to have a lot of people talk crap on you. And whether it's going into business or anything, if you kind of look at the perspective of your life is, it's just like you had to do it while I was talking.
Toan likes to spray throat
Weird
spray,
stuff.
weird stuff in his throat. It's like a speaker's magic or something like that. What
It's
is that?
like my attention's completely thrown on. I don't even know what I was saying anymore.
Honey, I apologize that it cleared my throat. But yeah, thanks for keep going.
Honestly, I had a drive for it. I just couldn't figure it out. And when I really sat down and took the time as to why I wanted to be successful in life, that's what really motivated me and drove me to start to learn the right things that I needed to know in order to figure out where my success path was. So yes, in a sense, I did have a spirit of entrepreneurship. I don't think it's something that you can just formulate out of nowhere. I think there's some part of your body has to have it within you. You just didn't know it existed until the right person came into your life and kind of created that awareness for you.
I see. Hey, what's up? Why are you videotaping us?
No,
I feel weird.
Is he?
No, because
I thought he was taking photos.
because we're gonna be posting this later, so I just want to take a video.
Okay, where are we posting this at?
YouTube, iTunes,
Twitter,
Instagram.
Instagram.
Yeah, we're gonna do it.
Every social media.
Every
outlet.
social media
outlet
Pinterest.
out there. So like and
MySpace.
share.
Like and
MySpace.
share.
Oh heck yeah!
Oh, dude.
Does that still even exist?
Yes.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
But I don't know.
I think it's for musicians or something like that.
Is it for musicians?
Yeah,
Now?
I think it's
I've
for
never had a MySpace.
No?
I remember the one I
What?
had on MySpace.
Friendster.
Yeah.
Man.
Oh,
Friendster.
Friendster.
Apartment 107.
Oh man.
Oh man.
Dude, Vincent, you're going beyond. Yeah, you are pretty. I don't even know what apartment was.
Oh,
What is it?
man. I
What
thought it
is
was
it called?
just party
Asian
party
Avenue.
line.
Oh
Yeah.
gosh.
AOL.
AOL.
1.0.
Party line. Everybody liked the party line.
Everyone went off subject.
But now, back on subject. Now you did all the hard work. You neglected. You shaved away. You had rhino skin. You neglected all the naysayers. Now you guys are pretty successful, and you have your own businesses, and you're stay-at-home parents.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah, you guys have 2 kids, boy and a girl, right?
Mm-hmm.
Madeline and Dominique.
Mm-hmm.
Freaking adorable. They started their own YouTube channel
Yeah.
with the help of the parents, of course, but they're doing their own YouTube channel. What is it called?
The Happy Kids channel.
Happy Kids channel.
And their main focus is happiness. We live in such a negative world that, since the day our kids were born, we really focused on gratitude, happiness, because we felt like as parents, we didn't really want to teach our kids how to be rich and make a lot of money. We just felt like if we can just teach them to be grateful for the things that they do have, they'll continue to strive for more and not feel like they're broke or lack of. So their channel is really... they'll be reviewing toys, but also they're really just focusing on sharing happiness with people. And I feel like that's what we need in this world because everything's so negative.
Do they help you guys edit too?
They have insight and input, but no.
No.
I don't think Dominic at 4 knows how to move his little fingers to cut and paste and do all that stuff.
Okay. Tuan's been doing editing for a while. Remember we had our first YouTube video a long time ago.
Oh
in a-
my
in a
gosh, the
garage.
fight scene.
Oh, the
A fight scene.
That was awesome. The ending was kind of weird.
It was really weird. That was like our first YouTube channel. Like, dude,
I think it's still up.
it is still up.
If you, what do you, it's
I don't ever want to say it.
I
Don't
don't
even
know.
say it. Don't,
Yeah.
I don't know what to say.
Well, that's the key to entrepreneurship. You kind of like you mess around with it in the beginning, and then you
Yeah.
kind of find your passion. Then you acquire that skill, and then you just keep using it for things that really generate cash flow. You know.
Yeah.
I think the key focus behind becoming an entrepreneur is my number one rule of thumb is say yes to everything that makes sense towards the direction that you want to go.
like, what do you mean by that?
Like if you can, like I shared earlier, if you can identify why you want to be successful, then that's where it actually starts. And as opportunities, because opportunities presented to you every single day, it's just you choose not to see it as that because you don't know what your purpose is in life. So I think for me personally, that's always been my number one goal is I just want to say yes to everything that surrounds towards a focus of my higher purpose. And what has happened is when you say yes, there are times where it gets you in trouble. But once you get out of that trouble, it actually leads you towards personal growth that actually allows you to open up more doors of opportunity. So for me, once I figured out why I really wanted to do it, I just started saying yes to everything. And these doors started opening up, whether I saw it in the beginning or not. And I could say there's a lot of discouraging moments because you're going to go through hell. You're going to make a ton of mistakes. But there was always some sort of, I guess, growth in there that led us to where we're at today.
How would you like? What's your best method of getting over the biggest hump
Of what?
of
discouragement?
discouragement?
A lot of personal development. If you don't know what it is, I mean, go into Barnes and Nobles and look in the personal development side. And really, honestly, it comes down to the reason why you don't do things or you don't proceed forward in what you're pursuing is your belief in yourself. And if you're confident that you can do it or not. And that's 100% the reason why people don't pursue their dreams and their passion because they just don't believe they could do it. So for me, every single time I've gone through a hump or discouragement, it's always because a lie I've been telling myself in my head. And with personal development, it creates awareness of those bad habits that you're doing. And it brings it to light and you can identify it. And it's not like you'll ever get rid of it, but you can stop it in the moment in order for you to allow courage to win every single time.
What I do want to say is if you decide that you do want to be an entrepreneur, everyone always pictures entrepreneurship as a straight line going from bottom left, going up to the right. And they see a straight line. The reality is that it's not like that. It's actually, there's a lot of leaps and bounds. There's a lot of jagged edges. There's
Roller coaster.
There's a lot of roller coasters. There's a lot of ups and downs. And you just have to prepare your mind right away that you're going to be discouraged. And when you are discouraged, the best thing that you have to realize is you have to realize that your perspective has changed. So, imagine you're starting something. You're excited. You're motivated. But if something changes, all it really was is that your focus is on something else. You're focusing on something negative. So you're just not having clarity. And if you want to be clear, you just need to work on your perspective. And clarity creates focus. Focus creates change. So one thing that Van and I do a lot is we take the time out and reflect and we identify all the current reality in our life. Like if you have a negative bank account, maybe you actually overcharged or you overcharged your credit card, or maybe you have like rent due and you spent too much money and there's more days at the end of the month and more money. Or maybe you just went through a huge argument with your wife or your spouse or significant other. Whatever the case is, that has altered your perspective. And all you have to do is list all your current problems on one line, on one side of the page, and on the right side, just write down what you can do. Because what you end up doing is you're now shifting your focus to a positive thing. You're focusing on what you can do versus what you can't do. And most of the time, once you write a list of all the things you can do, you're going to have a better sense of clarity. And like I said, clarity creates focus. Focus creates change. So anytime you do get discouraged, just do that. And then I promise you, you're going back on the positive road towards from the bottom left to the upper right.
That's deep.
I think as long as you just have the want for change, you'll be successful no matter what. I don't think it can't come from the mentality that I need to be successful. It's I want to be. So it's
Yes.
all about how you think, really.
What would you say to somebody like, okay, I got a little cousin, man, and he's asked me every time I see him, hey, I want to make money. How do I make money? Can you teach me how to make money? He sees my wife and I like doing drop shipping or doing stuff on the internet. He sees like bringing the fire, blowing up. Hey, I want to make money. How do I make money? Right? And I'm like, all right, I'm gonna show you how to make. All right, go to the website. Here, just go to that online. Just do that. Just read that, right? And then I see him 2 weeks later, and he's like, hey, I want to make money. I was like, all right, did you do what I just told you to do? No, I don't have money to do it. I'm like, okay, so you have excuses, right? I tell him you have excuses, right? Well, but you want to make money. Like, what would you tell somebody like if they want to make money that bad, but they're telling you want to make money, but their actions are not telling you that you want to make money?
Well, the first question would be, why do you want to make money?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
it. That's the first thing I would ask them. Well, why are you so aggressive about wanting to make money?
Mhm.
Once you can identify why, then you got to ask them, well, what are you willing to sacrifice to make that happen? Are you willing to put money in? If you're not willing, then that's when you can be honest with them and says, your philosophy doesn't make sense. If you're not willing to put money into it, how are you expecting to make money? It's not a job. If you're asking me how to teach you how to become an employee, go to a corporate job.
Yeah.
So it has to start with why are you doing it and what are you willing to sacrifice in order to make it happen? And that's when everything will kind of come out where he's like, well, I don't know what I'm supposed to sacrifice. Well, if I'm telling you to go watch this, you need to sacrifice your time off of work or whatever your fun activities you normally do. You need to take an hour every week and you need to watch this to learn how to do it.
Sacrifice. Put in the work.
Yeah. There's a lot of keys to success. I mean, there's about a dozen of them. I think, how to be a money magnet. You honestly, the best way is doing what Van said, having that definite purpose, knowing exactly what you want. And then once you know what you want, you got to really be obsessed about it. Like you really kind of
Are you
constantly
talking about like
think about
dream
it.
boards and stuff like that?
Yeah. I mean, honestly, do work on things that constantly will get you obsessed about it. You think about all the most successful people in the world, Bill Gates, Donald Trump, Oprah Winfrey. Guess what they all have in common? They're obsessed and they're fanatical about what they do. They talk about it, they dream about it, they think about it, they sleep about it. That's all they do. And because they think about it all the time, they obviously, their urge of manifesting it into reality is more possible because it's almost like you cannot think about something all the time and not want to do something about it. Because if you constantly let it overwhelm your mind, that's the only thing you know.
That's a secret.
Yeah.
That's a secret, right? But people, that's the secret. You just phrased up the secret, like. But the secret's not like the secret's just I'm always thinking about it. Since I'm always thinking about it, I'm going to do something about it.
Yeah.
I think that's the secret. The secret's not like I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about it until I get it.
No, you think about it.
You think
do.
about it, then you do.
Yeah, I mean, Wayne Dyer, he talks about manifestation because he doesn't necessarily fully believe in what The Secret says because I think that's what everyone thinks is, let me think about it and it'll just attract into my life.
That's totally wrong.
Yeah, but his is like, no, you got to manifest it into your life by being proactive and have faith that the right things are going to get put in place as you go out to pursue it. So one question, just being in one of our businesses that we do, 90% of our focus is there is we do deal with a lot of people that want to become entrepreneurs and feel like they're stuck when they get their first discouragement or someone tells them that whatever they're pursuing isn't going to work. My first question that I tend to ask people is usually, are you sick of where you're at? Have you gotten to the point where you're disgusted, whether it's your finances, weight loss, relationship, usually all of that? I ask them, are you done with where you're at? If you're not tired of where you're at, it doesn't matter what I say or what I show you, you will always revert back to your comfort zone.
Yep.
So I need to know, are you sick and tired of where you're at right now? Because it has to get to the point where you have that day of disgust, because that's where all mental shifts happen, is when you get to a point in your life where you said, I'm done, I'm tired of this, I want more out of life, I am sick of where I'm at, I want to proceed forward. And that's usually when you can actually coach a person to be successful because they actually are open to learning now.
One of the things that Van and I do a lot when we're coaching people, and she does this like more often than I do, but we usually, paint a picture for people, because when you work with someone, when we work with someone, we want to know that they're completely serious about entrepreneurship, like sickening serious. And what I mean by that is, one of the things that Van and I do is we ask people, okay, so imagine, like I'll do it to you, Gabe, is imagine there's two buildings, right? It's 30 stories high, and there's a rope that connects both of those buildings together.
Yeah.
And then if I'm on one side, if you're on one side, and it's, like I said, 30 stories high, it's like 100 feet far away from each other.
Mm.
And there was $10 on the other side. Would you climb that rope to get $10?
With a safety harness.
Yeah, right.
If it's only $10,
No safety harness.
Yeah.
You get on that tightrope and get the $10.
Yeah.
not for $10, man.
Right.
No.
And okay, so maybe it's not $10. Maybe what if it was $100? Would you risk your life and have a chance of falling 30 stories high to get $100 on the other side?
At this point in my life, no. Maybe when I was like 17, 18, 19,
Maybe, right? Maybe,
yeah,
right? What? Okay, maybe it's not 100. What if it's 1,000?
At this point, no.
Right? Even $1 million.
Then I'll think about it.
But it'd still be
I'll
a
think
no,
about it.
because if you're confident, you'd say yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
But let me ask you this: what if it was your wife? What if it was your two kids on the other side? Would you do whatever it takes? Oh, by the way, the buildings are on fire, and hey, the doors are blocked. You cannot go downstairs. You can't take the elevator. The only way you can get to your wife or your two kids is you have to climb that rope. Would you overthink it?
In a heartbeat.
You do it right away, right?
Yeah.
You wouldn't question it.
Yeah.
Right? So you need to think about whatever goal that you want to achieve. You need to want to save. You need to want to do that as much as you want to save your family. So the moment you start seeing success like that, or your goal like that, you will be successful, because you have literally manifested it into reality. You want it so bad that you have to do something. I mean, Van will tell you there's nights that we'll stay up. If we have a new idea that we want to do, what do most people, entrepreneurs, do? They'll go online, they'll check out some equipment on Amazon. They'll want to buy it. Nah, let's not buy it. Then they'll actually start, looking into different things. They'll start reading up on it. This goes on for weeks. They'll start looking at things online. They'll read more and more and more. They'll start talking about it more. They'll talk to their spouse more. They'll talk about it to the point where then all of a sudden the wife says, why don't you just do something about it? You're like, yeah, you're right. I just might as well do it. They were going to do it anyways, but they just kept going online at night, researching on it, studying it, talk to the wife about, talk to a friend. And they do it over and over and over and over and over to the point where they couldn't take it anymore, where they have to take action.
Yeah.
And that's what you really have to do. Otherwise, wanting something is just not enough.
And then also make sure your associations are right.
No, that's a big deal.
You don't want to.
It's a big deal.
You don't want to continue to hang out. Not to say abandon your friends, but just be mindful of the associations you hang out with, because for me, my biggest lesson is there's some people you hang out for a minute, there's some people you hang out for an hour, and then there's people you hang out for days. And it's usually the association is what's going to create the success or failure mindset. Is you are the sum of the 5 people you hang out with. So if you're hanging out with a bunch of people that see no future, or all they're doing is doing the same old thing they did 10 years ago from high school, you're obviously not going to pursue your dreams, because they are not going to introduce you to opportunities that will allow you to further pursue your dreams. So you got to make sure you're hanging out with the people that have what you want, so that they can teach you how to do it. Because one thing that we learned, and we all know this quote, is that the opinions you buy into, the lifestyle is what you're going to have. So if they don't have what you want and you're constantly buying into their opinion, they're only teaching you how to be like them. Mm-hmm. So if you're hanging out with broke people, they're going to teach you how to be broke. So if you want to be wealthy, and I don't mean just financially rich, you got to find a guy that has the marriage you want, the house that you want, the car that you want, the lifestyle, the fitness, or whatever thing you're looking to pursue. You need to hang out with those people, because they will only give you advice that will gear you towards the success that they've gained. So,
Truth.
and on that note, just want to say that for all the married people on there, you have to make sure that your spouse buys into that vision too. And if they haven't yet, you got to get back at to selling them the idea, because
Yeah.
if you don't, either you guys are going to grow together or you're going to grow apart. And so you need to have your spouse on board on the long haul.
And it's hard. The career path that Toan and I are in, we've witnessed tons of couples where husband didn't support or wife didn't support, or they didn't fully understand because one spouse isn't giving the full information or is too afraid to express it. And it always ends up either with a divorce or they end up quitting their dreams because they just can't get the other spouse to be on board because there's constant conflict at the home.
But you know what? Good thing our spouses and you guys, we all get together and they all support us.
that was a really straight to the point answer. Yeah, we know that.
It's just for us personally, and I'm sure you guys probably have couples that listen in. If I could give you guys one advice just from a woman's perspective, and Toan could give it from a male's perspective, being in a relationship, the type of support that a man needs is give him all the freedom to do what he wants as long as he believes in it. As long as the husband, if you can sell your wife that you truly believe in what you're pursuing, as the wife, I'm going to give you, just allow him to do it. Allow him to do it and don't give him hell for it.
And for all of you ladies out there, let me just give you a quick tip. All right. Well, actually, for all the guys out there, let me give you a quick tip.
Of how to support your woman.
On how to support your woman. Sorry, I got tongue-tied on that one. Make sure you don't put your relationship second. Your relationship actually comes first before your entrepreneurship. Because if you put your relationship first, she knows that she is actually part of that long haul with you. Don't forget the little things, the little things that count. Make sure know what her love language is. If she likes you wash, she likes it when you wash the dishes, you might not be perfect at it, but be aware and do it sometimes. Do it the best you can. If she actually likes you, she likes it when you hug her or kiss her, and that's the thing that she really enjoys, make sure you do that every once in a while. Do it as best as you can. If she just likes words of affirmation and she just wants you to say, I love you, I miss you, or even you don't have to say it. Sometimes she just wants you to text her. Believe it or not, that's sometimes she just wants, hey, I'm thinking of you. That will actually go longer and farther than you just focusing on the bigger picture. Like, hey, I'm just here to get you to that house. She don't care. She cares, but
Sexting work?
If that's her love language.
You guys read that book. You read that book, huh?
Yeah, I listened to the audio.
Oh. Cheater.
No,
I wish I
well,
listened to the audio. She made me read it.
Well,
I want you to give advice on how a man should support the woman, as in, I work with tons of women where I get a lot of them complain that the husband will always trump them, as in tell them how much I've had husbands flat out say, you're stupid for pursuing your dreams. You're not going to ever do that. So for me, if you're a male and you got a wife that has dreams, support her the way she would support you, because I don't think it's fair that you can sit there and ask for unlimited support, let me do my dumb things, but then the woman, when she goes out to pursue, you don't do the exact same thing. So that's what I'm trying to say is support both ways. If your wife, your husband believes in what they're doing, they can sell it to you, then just support them. They might screw up, but allow them to make that screw up because they're going to go towards the direction that will make them successful.
I guess.
I need to support my ladies, okay? You guys are all sitting there saying support their man. There's a lot of strong women. And, the article came out recently with, what's the guy from Shark Tank? Mr. Wonderful.
Kevin
Leary.
Leary.
Yeah.
He wrote that his most successful businesses were all the CEOs were women. So I gotta say, women, you guys are strong and you can be very successful. Just
I am woman, hear me war.
exactly.
Man. So I know you guys were talking about books, personal development, getting the negative thoughts out of your fucking head.
I know it's funny.
Why is it funny?
He keeps laughing at you, not me.
Well, he was different. He's Gary Vaynerchuk. So it's like, dude, that's a different personal development.
I've been listening
from the East Coast.
Yeah, dude, that's personal development from the East Coast.
I've been listening to
He's
Gary Vee
listening to
a
lot of Gary Vee.
Like every day.
Every day.
Hours and hours of Gary Vee every day.
He's like, just fucking do it.
Eventually, you guys are gonna come back, and every other word Vincent's gonna say is the F word.
With the negative thinking, are you saying go to Barnes and Noble? Like what are some of the negative thoughts people, everyone's different, of course, but what are some of the negative thoughts people tell themselves? And what books do you guys recommend that would help them out?
Can I really do it? I think that's the number one question people ask themselves when they are looking into an opportunity.
I think it varies depending on
work?
I think it varies on each individual. For me, I actually said some of the most weirdest things. Like I said, I'm Asian.
Look at Jeremy Lin.
Yeah. Right, exactly. Seriously, he's, a basketball player, but there's rarely any Asians that.
Dude, I read an article about Jeremy Lin. Check this out, guys. That he still goes when at his home games in the town of Charlotte. He plays for the Charlotte Hornets.
Oh yeah, and he had to get ID'd, right?
He got ID'd because they didn't recognize who he was. Because he wasn't maybe he wasn't Caucasian, maybe he wasn't African American, or whatever other race. Because he was Asian, they had to ID him.
It's shocking to me because he is very he's a rare case in the NBA, and they don't recognize him.
Yeah.
He's not literally the only famous Asian that I know that's a basketball player.
No, Yao Ming.
Yao Ming, yeah.
Okay.
Yao Ming. She knows Yao Ming.
But yeah, I mean that's the thing. For me, I said I'm Asian, or I said it sounds kind of silly, but I'm too short. Or I'm uneducated. Like I dropped out of college. I was telling Van.
How many times did you drop out of college?
Oh man, I mean, I was telling Van yesterday that I can't believe it. Like I was born in the United States, and I took the SAT, and they put me into English as a second language. And they say that I am bound to not go to the next level unless I take that class. And I'm like, I can't believe I'm born here. I actually speak good, fantastic English.
Better than me.
Well, your grammar was already wrong. Right?
Yeah.
I speak good English.
I speak good English.
You know what I mean?
Hey man, would
You
you
speak well.
Hey man, would you rather say I as rich or I forgot how to say it. I forgot how to say it.
You dropped out too?
Yeah, dude, I dropped out too. Yeah, from the same college.
Yes. High five.
Oh, CC. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I went through that, and then I went to English 99, and I actually failed English 99 3 times. On the 4th time, I went back to petition, and the same teacher said, "Oh no," she pointed the finger at the door. She's like, "No, you ain't taking this class again. You're out." And so, I thought when I got into entrepreneurship, I thought I'm uneducated. I'm a slow learner. I didn't think I was going to be successful. Yeah, so. I'm telling you, it doesn't matter what you say to yourself. What matters is that you do talk to yourself. Mm-hmm. And you just got to be aware of what you say to yourself.
Everything that you say to yourself is based on how you grew up. The philosophies that were instilled by you, by TV, media, your parents. I think that's what derives the self-negative talk. It's because, parents, they don't realize it, but their words matter on what they say to their kids. And it either drives a positive thought process and belief in themselves, or it wears a person down. Growing up in a very traditional Vietnamese family, there's a lot of comparison done. I know with Toan, he gets the, why aren't you like your cousin? For me, it's more like, how come you don't look like your sisters? Or, how come you don't go here? Or why don't you do this? It's always been compared to another person that is what they feel more educated. And you grow up, unfortunately, with that embedded into your mind. And what we tend to do is what suicide to our life is we compare ourselves to everyone. And it's that quote that I hear all the time is never compare your chapter 1 to someone's chapter 20. So that I feel like is what caused a lot of people to not pursue their dream, and only 1% of the world actually succeeds because unfortunately they compare themselves to everyone else and then they take themselves out of the running before they even try.
Wow, that's deep. You just dropped some knowledge.
Knowledge.
You guys been dropping some knowledge this whole time. Hey, screw school. Just listen to this podcast. Jeez Louise.
Don't drop out of school if you want to go to school.
Nah, if you want to go to school, if you want to be I need doctors.
I need doctors. I need lawyers.
I need a lawyer sometimes. I might need a lawyer again. I need all those people. So stay in school if you're going to do that. But honestly, if you're not going to do that, if you know that's not your passion, then...
I think for me, I always tell people just pursue what you believe in because you live one life. And it's unfortunate if you're on your deathbed and you tell yourself that you wish you did something different in your life. Why not? I read a long time ago that people are going to judge you no matter what you do. So you might as well just go do what you want to do.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Yeah.
Who cares?
Who gives a shit if they're not paying your bills? who gives a fuck, right?
Exactly. You know, even like for me personally, one of our career paths that I've chosen, my family does not support it. My 6 siblings don't support me at all. Not to say that we're not successful in it, but no matter what I do or say, and it doesn't even have to be revolved around that business, they just are so negative towards me. And if I allowed my family to stop me, I wouldn't be the person that I am today. Knowing that where I'm at in my position, I do make an impact in people's lives. And that is what drives me to continue to move forward and not focus on the negative things that they tend to say about me.
Boom.
Boom. Damn.
I hope they don't hear this podcast.
But sometimes people need to hear the truth.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
they need to hear it.
Because they need to know your feelings.
Yeah.
Like one of the things I
What
tell.
else, what do you think about your sister anyway?
I love my family. They just don't support my career path.
No, like one thing Kareem and I were talking about. We came out with this lighted hose for our business. Right, the first time it comes around, it was wrapped outside. People was talking shit on it, like, "Oh,
wait,
stupid."
did you say let it hose?
No, lighted.
Oh, I thought it said, what is let it hose?
No.
Oh,
We have
sorry.
lighted hoses.
Sorry, see, English second language.
Yeah, lighted hose. They walk PCH sometimes with the lights.
Dude, that still doesn't look good. That still doesn't sound good. They walk PCH with lighted.
Yeah,
No,
that's a joke, man.
So we have this hookah hose.
It's a hookah hose, but I was referencing a lighted hoe.
So and then I'm like telling Kareem, I'm like, dude, just tell people this is version 2. First time it came around, we made the hose. It sucked. It was
Virgin, we met the hose.
Dude, Vincent is very much ESL.
yes,
Very
Yes.
much. He was born in America
yes.
and grew up, went to school in an American school.
Wait,
Yes.
were you born in America?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know
It doesn't
that.
Westchester,
sound like
bro.
it, but it's okay. It's okay. He doesn't know how to use tenses very well. But it's okay.
Don't worry, Toan. I just corrected him earlier.
It's okay though.
It's okay. I think Vincent would rather say, I be's a millionaire than I am a millionaire. Right, Vincent?
I'm a gooda with money,
Yeah.
then I'm good with money.
What?
Isn't it? You would rather say I be rich than I am educated?
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that, dude. I don't know. Read a book. I don't know.
That's why I listen to Gary Vaynerchuk, because every other word he cusses. That means it's a lot easier for me when I talk. I'm like,
There you
oh
go.
shit,
There
I'm
you
gonna
go.
say something. I'm
You
like,
don't have to use too much of the English language.
No. Oops.
Oops.
Can't say that about the kids.
Yeah. It's okay.
For everyone listening, the kids are not here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, they're upstairs
Yeah.
entertaining themselves. But do you guys have 2 kids and they're doing their own businesses? And then I know Van, she's talking to me earlier about maybe you're doing a nonprofit
Mm-hmm.
also.
Mm-hmm.
She started a nonprofit. And
What's a nonprofit about?
I'm not revealing it yet.
Okay.
I have a whole reveal involved, but I am involved in other things. I actually just partnered with another woman out in Utah where she actually started this whole social media outlet of Moms Living Happy.
Mhm.
And she actually asked me to be a part of the executive panel that actually deals with moms and personal development side.
Okay.
I actually worked with her in one of our businesses. She did not continue to do the business we do now, but she branched off and we weren't necessarily working together. It's more of like we were friends on social media and she just admired the work that I did and how I composed myself as a person. And she reached out to me and I said yes. I didn't feel like I had enough time to do it, but my philosophy is say yes to everything that gears towards the direction of your dreams. And so I actually partnered with her about a month ago, and it's going to be a really great, I feel like it's going to be something really successful that gears towards mom and successful moms, because you don't really have a whole lot of that being promoted. And I think a lot of the times women believe that you can't be a mom and be successful at the same time because your whole world is your kids.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm actually against that in a sense where I believe you can have it all, but you just got to know how to balance it out. So,
Yeah, that's one thing I want to ask you too, because I know there's a lot of moms out there and that want to be successful, that want to make extra money, they want to make a difference, they want to do other things, but they're like, I'm really busy, I have kids, or whatever the excuses is. I mean, sometimes like, you know what, we gotta wait until they're older. I mean, what is your advice on that? Because there's tons and tons of moms, and they have so much potential, they don't see it, and they're like, you know what, I'm just gonna wait until the right time, the right moment.
For me personally, the only advice I can really give you is my personality trait. I'm a perfectionist, and I can understand where women are coming from, because when I had my daughter, firstborn, you wanted to be there for everyone, and you really wanted to be that ideal mom of like baking cookies and just being involved in every moment of your child's life. And I love that. I'm all for that. I'm not against any of that. If that's the type of mom you want to be, that's awesome. But if you're a mom looking to become, successful in whatever it is you want to pursue, whether it's making jewelry or whatever your entrepreneur spirit wants to head you towards, my advice to you is you can have it all, but the thing you have to learn is to forgive yourself. There are going to be times where you're not going to be the world's best mom. There's going to be times where you're not going to be the world's best entrepreneur, but you have to learn to forgive yourself. Pursue it. Know that there's going to be months where you'll be a wonderful mom. And then there's going to be months where you're going to have to sacrifice time away from your family in order to pursue your dreams. But in the end, it all balances out. Because spending, for me personally, what I've noticed is when I spend too much time with my kids, they don't want anything to do with me. The moment I say, let's go to grandma, they're cheering and screaming because they want to get away from me because I just smothered them too much. So I feel like there's a great balance when I'm pursuing businesses and there's times where I have to be away from them. They just appreciate my being and being at home more than me just always being there for them.
Mm.
Okay.
Deep.
Yeah, very deep. So deep.
Oh, cool, man. I really enjoyed communicating and talking to you guys today. I know, Toan, how do people find you? I know you have a course online on Udemy. Is that right?
Yeah, what is it called?
It's actually it's something we just actually launched. We're really excited about it. I think one of the things is when you're actually becoming an entrepreneur, I think the biggest thing is, you want to definitely work on your personality, and I think one of the big things is you want to basically work on your people skills. So what I mean by that is, even I'm a fan of Gary Vaynerchuk. I mean, one of the things he said was, look, if there's one thing that you want to learn is you want to learn how to work with people. Yeah. Because you can take the most smartest person in the world. He's a straight A student. He graduated top of his class. But, if I was to hire someone that knows everything about it, or I would rather hire someone that's so-so but knows exactly how to work the room, how to work with people, I'd rather work with the person who actually knows how to get along with everybody. Because the person can be really smart, very intelligent, but he might be for lack of better words, he might be an ass. And you can't stand working with them, then how can you get anything done? So what Van and we've been able to do is we actually developed a course specifically on communication. And we're really excited about it because the title of it's called Read Personalities Like a Pro and Increase Your Influence.
Nice.
And we're really excited about it because honestly, there's 16 different personalities that you literally have to study to understand the different facets of every individual, how they're different and how they're very unique between one another. But what we've been able to do is we've kind of shrunk them down to 4 typical, similar, 4 different personalities that all you have to do is learn it, and you'll be able to learn how to work and understand other people's wants and their needs. And if you understand what their wants and needs are, you're able to communicate with them more effectively and work with them more better.
Okay, and I'll get I'll put it on the show notes for people to go ahead and actually click on it, watch it, learn it. And are you guys on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram?
Yeah, we are.
MySpace.
No
Asian
MySpace.
Avenue.
No.
Asian singles. Oh, no.
No, I hope Toan's not on there.
Me? What the heck? No.
Our Instagram is Balancing TV.
Balancing Life TV.
Oh, I'm sorry, Balancing Life TV. Sorry. Honestly, our Twitter is the same, Balancing Life TV. Facebook is a little different. We'll just have Vincent put it all in the description box for you to be able to follow us, because we have many different social media outlets. But for us, what our mission is we really want to help people find a balance in life where you don't have to feel lacked in your, I guess, health, your faith, family, finances, and different things like that. That's what our social media outlet will provide, is advice, different tips and struggles that we've gone through to help you create the balance in your life. So if you follow us, you'll get our tips and different things that we've overcome and different techniques that we have in order for us to create that balance.
Sweet. And one last thing, if you could tell anybody your favorite quote or inspire somebody with your favorite quote, what would be your favorite quote?
My favorite quote that I read in a book once that has never left my head, that has served me really well, it's in a book called The Richest Man in Babylon.
This is my favorite book, man.
You know the quote is never get jewel advice from a brick maker, which it completely surrounds with. Don't ever listen to advice or opinions of people that do not pursue what you're pursuing.
Sick. And who do we have here?
All
we
right,
have
so-
we have the stars of their hit
Happy
YouTube
Kids.
channel.
Look,
What's
So-
your YouTube channel?
Huh?
what's your
What is
YouTube
it?
called?
YouTube channel.
It's called Happy Kids Channel. Happy Kids Channel.
All right.
What is it about?
Oh, can I get it off? It's
Oh,
about
yeah.
all we can make toys to get them out. Happy Kids Channel.
What does it do?
It we play in it. We have to buy all the toys, so we buy all the toys, but we buy my other one overnight. So we buy my every night when we come and do the video. Catch us the snake drawings.
And how fun is doing videos, guys?
Really super fun.
Really?
Very fun.
Oh my gosh. What's your favorite part?
Well, I like the fart game.
The fart game?
Or a game.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, it goes like that.
Excuse you.
Oh,
Yeah.
was that you?
So that's the gas out game.
It's called Gas Out.
We
Right.
got captured the snake John.
Oh, you're gonna do the snake one soon.
Yeah.
The snake game.
So how,
Yeah.
how do people find you guys on
Um,
YouTube? What did
You
they have to
buy
type
my
in?
thing, so we buy it at Toys R Us. The Happy Kids channel. A Happy Kids channel.
Okay, so everybody go to the Happy
Kids channel. Subscribe. Make your kids go on there. Subscribe. Watch them.
I talk.
Okay, thank you. You did awesome.
Awesome. You guys are
I
awesome.
want to do it again.
Again?
Okay.
All right.
Okay. How do we find you, Dominic?
I have I like my capture snake John.
Okay, the snake game soon. I think he said that.
Jewel.
Snake
Game Jewel.
Snake game, Joel. Be on the lookout for the next
Man,
hottest
capture
video.
the snake John.
The snake game, Jewel, being reviewed by
Capture
not
the
only
snake John.
Dominic and Madeline. Be on the lookout, like, share, right? Like and share.
Yeah.
Okay.
Subscribe.
Look
Like and
Subscribe,
share.
like, and share.
Ma, you're in the lookout too.
Yep, I am in there.
Awesome.
Thank you very much.
Try it again.
No,
All right,
we're done.
guys. Well, this ends up this podcast here. This is episode number 12. Just remember, like, share, subscribe, do what you can.
Yeah. Post a
Download.
review.
Download, post a review, do something. We love you. Catch us out there. I'll see you at the top.
See you later, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you.
Peace.